Hey guys, I'm Hellhound, and you know how every franchise has its really great, awesome entries. Then it's kind of more mediocre entries that are that are good but just not as good and kind of more okay. They're still watchable. And it's downright terrible, god awful entries that you can't sit through. Well, when it comes to the Halloween series, the great, awesome, wonderful, perfect masterpiece installments would be Halloween, Halloween 2, and Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Then in the middle, kind of the more ones that aren't quite as good, but are still watchable and still have their strong points despite their flaws, would be Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, Halloween The Curse of Michael Myers, and Halloween H2O. Probably Halloween 5 would be the worst of those. I'm not even really counting part 3 anyway. Just talking the Michael Myers story. And then, so yeah, those would be kind of the more, not as good entries, but still decent. And then we have the downright terrible, ungodly, awful abomination Halloween Assurrection, or I'm sorry, Halloween Resurrection, which I'd rather stick needles in my eyes and sit through this piece of shit again. I hate this movie. It sucks. It's so terrible. Oh god. Oh god. Okay, let's just get started. Okay. Now, you know what the really sad thing about this movie is? It actually starts off promising. It actually starts off really decent. It actually sucks you into the beginning, and it seems like it's going to be a really good movie, a really good continuation, a really good follow-up to the story of Laurie Strode, which, began in the first two movies and was continued in H2O. Okay, well, basically, at the end of H2O, Laurie finally defeated her murderous brother Michael by cutting his head off with an axe. Well, turns out Michael actually outsmarted her. He tricked her. He's really cunning. Turns out it was actually some paramedic or something that he crushed his larynx so he couldn't talk, put his mask on the poor man, and then, he ended up being trapped, and Laura actually decapitated the wrong man, while her psychotic brother escaped and got away. Yeah, she killed the wrong man. Now she's in an asylum because, with her guilt, her remorse, she can't stand that she killed the wrong man. And so that was awesome. Michael Myers outsmarted her, showed how clever of a psychopath he was, how sinister and conniving he is. She killed the wrong man because of him. So I thought, okay, H2O was a pretty good way to wrap up the story. I thought that was a fitting end, but I was like, okay, well, this resurrected the story really well. I thought that was awesome. And then we see Michael Myers come to the asylum, and he actually kills Laurie. He actually finally kills his sister. He fulfills his lifelong goal. I mean, I know Freddy eventually finished off Nancy in Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Jason did get revenge on Alice, the one who killed his mother, at the beginning of Friday the 13th Part 2. Hell, even in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series, it's mentioned that Sally Hardesty from the first film later died. But how Michael Myers, his goal this whole time, his mission was finally accomplished. And that was to kill his sister Laurie. He finally did it. That'd be like if Chucky finally transferred his soul into a human body and ended up winning at the end. Michael Myers actually won at the beginning of this movie. I was like, wow, I'm in for a treat. I can't wait to see what happens next. After he killed his sister, then he hands his knife to some other inmate who's obsessed with serial killers. Then he walks away. I was like, whoa, I can't wait to see where this movie goes next. I'm in for a real treat. I bet it's got loads of potential. And it did at the beginning, and then I saw the rest of it. Oh, wow, what a letdown. Aside from the first 15 or 20 minutes, which were actually awesome, the rest of the movie sucks. This movie is a turd. It's like a freaking MTV style. Okay, we got Busta Rhymes and Tyra Banks. Ugh. What are they doing in this movie? How come rappers were getting in all my favorite movies around this time? All my favorite franchises like Redman and Seed of Chucky. But at least they killed his stupid ass. Busta Rhymes doesn't die in this movie. Urgh, I hate him so bad. He makes Michael Myers look like a pussy. He ends up kicking his ass. What? I wanted to slit my wrists when he did that. Oh god, it was so horrible. Okay, but yeah, anyway, after Myers kills his sister in the awesome opening in the movie, the rest of it just goes way downhill. Yeah, they enter his childhood home where he returns to, and they got these cameras on their head. They're trying to film it's like a web series, like it's like a live feed, and like a bunch of teenagers are watching it. They're spending a fun-filled night in his childhood home with a notorious serial killer. They have a live broadcast, and it turns deadly when their evening of excitement and thrills turns into mayhem as Michael Myers shows up to crash the party. But does he really? I know what you're thinking. That sounds pretty awesome. He turns to his childhood home. They're trying to film kind of a series there. A good enough premise, but And, he thinks he's going to slaughter them all, it's going to be awesome, but no. Unfortunately, really annoying characters end up getting the best of him. There's a scene where Busta Rhymes dresses as Michael, and then the real Michael shows up, and he's just confused, like, huh? And Busta Rhymes talks down to him and tells him to go away. And Michael, it's like, what the hell just happened? Michael Myers should have slit his damn throat. Kill that stupid ass son of a bitch. I hate this character. I wanted him to die so bad, but no. He ends up winning in the end. He ends up getting away. He doesn't die in this movie. He's the one who defeats Michael Myers. They electrocute him, then they set him on fire. He's like, oh, you look a little crispy there, Mikey. And like, even used some martial arts moves against him. What the hell was that? I'm sorry, but any potential this movie had was thrown out the window. That killed it for me. I hate this stupid character. He should have died. I can't stand him. Busta Rhymes beats Michael Myers? Are you kidding me? Come on. This wasn't the real Michael Myers. The real Michael Myers killed his sister and then disappeared into the shadows. This was like some imposter. Hell, maybe it was that other inmate, the one that was obsessed with the serial killers. Maybe he took Michael Myers' mask and escaped somehow, and he came back to his home. He thought he was Michael Myers because he was twisted and saying, yeah, because there's no way the real Michael Myers is going to get beat up by this pretentious idiot. Hell no. Ugh. And yeah, this movie I can't believe this is a sequel to the original. Look at all these freaking MTV rap stars. She's not even in the movie for like more than 20 minutes. Jamie Lee Curtis, who's the best part about the movie. Brad Loree plays Myers here, who just plays him as a pussy. Michael Myers, when he's done right, is probably my favorite horror villain. But he's fucked up so many times. Either they give him an origin that makes him less scary, or he's like controlled by other people and he's a henchman, which, ruins the character, or he's just made to a pussy who gets his ass kicked by irritating rappers. So it's really easy to screw up the character of Michael Myers. Hell, look at Jason. He's had some lesser movies. There's been some movies in the Friday the 13th series that weren't that good, but look at the character of Jason himself. He was always done really well. He was always done accurate. He was always done justice. There are a few things that were stupid about him, like when he says, Mommy, don't let me drown, at the end of part 8. I think that's a hallucination, though. But still, they're always true to his character, and he's like a little less, easy to screw up like Myers apparently is. He's supposed to be evil incarnate, unstoppable, psychopath, will stop at nothing to get his way. Nobody can stop him, except for some dumbass Busta Rhymes, which I cannot stand. Ugh. So what you do is, somebody needs to make a fan edit. H2O. Take H2O, and then edit at the beginning of this movie, add the first 15-20 minutes to the end of H2O. After she cuts his head off, do like a, however long it's been, 5 years later, or 2 years later, or 4 years later, however long it's been since H2O, and then that's the real ending. The beginning of this movie is the ending of H2O. Delete the rest of this crap, because it's diarrhea, and then you have a perfect movie, a fitting into the Halloween franchise. Michael Myers succeeds in his goal, he fulfills his destiny by killing his sister, and then he disappears into the shadows. The end. He doesn't go to his childhood home and get beat up by Busta Rhymes and a bunch of dumbass MTV people. There's one guy who is just watching the whole thing from his computer at home, doesn't call the cops or anything. What does he have to do with this story? He was like some Disney Channel actor, I think. I don't even remember. Now, I do vaguely remember an alternate ending. I don't know, I couldn't sit through this turd very often, and I didn't even want to look at the alternate scenes, but I think there's an alternate ending where Myers actually does kill Busta Rhymes, or at least knocks him out or something, and then that guy who's watching the web series actually comes and saves the day. That would have been way better, but still. Now, Michael Myers does live. He is alive at the end of it. The nurses are looking at his charred body, and he opens his eyes and grabs her, to be continued, I guess, though it never was, thank God, because this movie sucks ass. It reeks. It's terrible. It's an abomination. It's just so freaking awful. I previously reviewed Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation, which is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I hate that movie. I despise it. I loathe it with a passion. But I feel like it's slightly less insulting than this movie is. Because, yeah, it did screw up Leatherface. It made him into a big old pussy. But when you think about it, he was a character that he was pushed around by his family a lot. He was pushed around by his older brothers. He did cower in fear a few times when his family were kind of controlling him and telling him what to do. And he was a transvestite from the beginning. He did cross-dress, he wore makeup, wore women's clothes and all that, so it wasn't that far off. Now this movie, you don't make Michael Myers into a pussy. Leatherface is one thing, is a little more believable. Don't get me wrong, I still hate Next Generation more than anything. It is worse than this movie overall. But again, as I said, this movie may be a little more offensive. It's just unacceptable. I'm sorry. I hate Busta Rhymes. I hate the fact that he's the one who beats Michael Myers. That is freaking terrible. I can't stand Tyra Banks. I can't stand any other annoying characters, all the blonde bimbos. Even the gratuitous tit shot, which, was something that was missing in H2O, couldn't save this turd from being a total train wreck. I despise Halloween Resurrection. It is the least is the weakest link of the original series. It is terrible. It's the Jason X. It's the Texas Chainsaw The Next Generation. It's the Freddy's Dead of the series. It's god-awful. But weirdly enough, having said all that, it's still not the worst Halloween movie. That's right, I said it. The worst Halloween movie is still yet to come. Ooh, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. Something worse than this movie? That's pretty terrifying. Say what you will about Michael Myers, I think the fact that there's something out there that's even more horrible than this, I think that's even scarier. In fact, I'd rather face Michael Myers than have to watch that movie again. But I've got to revisit it in order to review and let you guys know what I think. So, alright, yeah. Avoid Halloween Resurrection. It's crap. It's one of the worst movies ever. It's the low point of the Halloween series. Aside from an awesome opening where you really thought it was going to be good, turn the movie off after that opening. After he kills his sister and leaves, the movie ends, as far as I'm concerned. The rest of it was just somebody's horrible nightmare that they had. Just fan fiction. Fan-friggin-fiction. And speaking of fan fiction, it's pretty sad when fans can make movies about Michael Myers are even better than crap like this. And they seem to know where the right direction to take the character. Unlike director Rick Rosenthal. That's right, Rick Rosenthal, the guy who made the excellent original Halloween 2, directed this movie. What happened, Rick? What's going on? I mean, Steve Miner, a great horror legend who directed Friday the 13th 2 and 3, made H2O, but that movie was actually really decent, and I've actually grown on me quite a bit. What the hell happened to Rick? Come on now. And then Rob Zombie could do a lot better, too. What should have happened was, Rob Zombie should have directed a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, with the white trash characters, and the kind of, that would have worked. That would have worked in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, in Texas. That was what it was all about. Hell, take House of a Thousand Corpses, add Leatherface in there as part of the family. It's already way better than the 2003 version. There you go. Rob Zombie should have directed that. He should not have directed Halloween because he clearly didn't understand the Michael Myers character. I'm sorry, Rob. I love you. I'm still a huge fan of your music. I'm still a huge fan of your other movies. You do not understand how to make a proper Halloween movie, and that's what I'm going to get to next. So stay tuned.